Carl wouldn't be considered as a pleasant guy. Not because he doesn't smile that much. Even the biggest sweethearts need to take a break from smiling. It's because he was taught to be unpleasant, having no mercy or sympathy, to detect what seems to be ambiguity, difference. Because sin is connected to the body, not to action, at least in Carl's head. In Carl's body, which he believes carries the sin, because Carl was born as a seer. Seers are multi-skilled beings. They can see the future, the past. Time is unimportant to them. They can speak to souls who already entered the afterlife, guide ghosts during their next steps, even create a new soul and put it into a lifeless object. Seeric power and strength is undeniable, but it's not that prominent in the century. Why? Sociologically, the community itself is affected by historical trauma of witch hunts and by society's prejudices and stereotypes. Seers are seen as those charlatans or child-eating hags. This is also an explanation for Carl's situation, but more so, it's the fact that he was raised by those who held the fire torch for burning the stakes. Carl remembers so vividly the first time when his seerness showed up. He was still a boy at that time. He was so creative back then, expressing that by drawing. During the creation of the last drawing he ever made, something unknown awakened in him. Some sort of energy was distributed throughout his body, advancing to his fingertip. He touched the paper. The drawing of a tiger-human hybrid covered in pearls started to move and waved to his creator. It made Carl so proud. He gave his creation the name Tigon. Carl still remembers the feeling he had that time. It was like fire, but the welcoming and cozy kind, like the fireplace in those cheesy Christmas movies. He ran towards his parents to show his creation. His father's face became red, signaling his immense anger. He started tearing the drawing apart. Carl felt the connection to Tigon, so he felt the pain Tigon felt during his death. Carl tried so hard to not express his abilities after that day. But it wasn't working. Seeric energy found its way to get out spontaneously. After the school accident, when a spark of his magic brought to life an illustration of a skunk in a biology textbook, leading to the whole classroom becoming extremely smelly, Carl realized that to have his abilities under control, he needs to use them from time to time. What started as a secret occasional chats with ghosts changed into a secret second job. The only way for Carl to excuse his misdoings was to profit off of them. His self-image wasn't even changed by his clients praising him as a blessing for connecting them with their dead relatives. But this time, it was different.
Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller. Are you here?
That Seer guy.
What about him?
He's here. I can hear him. And I see him.
Who are you? I hear too many voices for one man.
To you, we are closely beings, at least in our living forms.
We are wrinkled and grey-skinned.
We were blessed with a trunk which helps us to breathe, touch, and hold things.
Elephants? Nonsense. What are you doing in the beyond? You shouldn't even have a soul in the first place.
His belief system denies our realness. He should feel what we felt at our ends, orchestrated by his disgusting species.
I guess you're right, Tyke. Mary, can you start?
Sure, Topsy. Human! Feel this! Feel the coldness of the massive chains around your neck, choking, stopping you from breathing.
Feel this. Electric energy is entering your body in the most painful way. Your neurons are losing control over you. Yourself is leaving the interiors of your brain forever.
And feel this, the multiple of what seems to be just a pinch, but it's not. It intensifies. You are losing too much blood.
Please, stop this. What did I do to deserve this?
Answer is in your own mythology.
Doubting Thomas started to believe after he touched the scars of your God. But we don't own physical bodies which you can touch, but souls carry the history of the material.
Feelings, emotions, stress and pain.
You should feel our scars,
Our burns.
our broken bones for you to believe. Can we start the normal conversation now?
I guess. Who are you? What do you want from me?
Let's say we share more than just the same identity.
We are united by the same trauma, by the injustice done by your kind.
We were taken from our worlds for being your amusement.
For being abused, for being exploited.
Some of us took an action of resistance. Some of us weren't just enough anymore. But we were all executed. I was hanged.
I was electrocuted.
I was shot by police.
But why me? I didn't kill you.
Believe me, I'm neither happy to spend time with a pathetic man like you. I'm doing this.
We are doing this.
As a favor for a friend we and you share. Believe me, this narrative is too human-centered for my liking. Animals helping that one animal who forgot to be one to wake him from self-destructive prejudices again. But I guess the outcome will be positive. Living world will be free from one jerk at least.
Shut up! You can't say anything! You will only listen this time. You think you understand everything, you can explain everything, you can say your opinion on everything, but guess what? You can't, and for a simple reason. You have just a few experiences, and not all. I don't have your body, and you don't have mine. Your body had enough platforms, bases, and panels. Mine or Tyke's or Mary's don't have such an opportunity, but we have it now.
You asked, why me? Better question is, why did it happen to all of you? Is the culture your species built? Transformation of the social aspects of human being into glorious, divine status, inaccessible even for folks of your own species. This status made you insensitive and dissociated from your own environment. You became cruel. But you can be cruel. It's the rule you set for yourselves. You tried to forget your own cruelty and inhumanity by binding those to anyone around you. It's easier to wipe out populations, extinguish beings, and destroy ecosystems existing years before you, when they're villainized, isn't it?
It's crazy how this view is deeply rooted in you. The audacity you have to assume that we don't have a soul. You think I never laughed, or never felt passion or joy, that I never sorrow or suffer or cry? I cried too many times. I cried when my child was killed by European hunters. I cried, realizing I will never see my fellows again. I cried to watch my sisters I bound with in the circus dying because of mistreatment. We love our children, our mothers, our friends. We mourn for those we lost. So tell me, how can we be that different from you?
Also, the spiritual tradition you follow has the same history of oppression. You were pierced, crucified, or burned by the ancient culture which became the founding stone of the future from which we suffer. But what did you do after being relieved from your suffering? You stood by its side to become the second founding stone. You don't even need to mention ancient iniquity, my sister. You are a Seer human, aren't you? Seer that deeply hates himself and others like him, helping in their, and in the end, in his own oppression. How can you believe and serve your God and be a traitor? I thought your God doesn't like traitors. Wasn't your God killed by a traitor? How can you betray yourself by symbolically rebuilding the stake on which you were burned?
As a beast.
As a witch.
As a barbarian.
As a sodomite.
Tigon? Of course I do. Wait a minute. Are you that friend that sent those crazy-ass beings on me? Wait. How can I understand you? You haven't opened your mouth even once. No problem. Why am I here? If I got it right, elephants were just a prelude. My heart? I'm so tired, Tigon. I'm willing to believe it for the first time.